Welcome to the second episode of the Lost in Orbit podcast. I am Dustin.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Squiggs.
And today...
I'm going to let Dustin take care of this. He knows what's up.
But today we're actually going to be starting with a question from the audience. And if anybody out there has any questions for us, you can tweet us. You can leave a comment down in the YouTube or literally anywhere else, Discord.
If you find my mailing address and you mail me your comment written out, I'll also accept that.
Yeah. Write a letter to our future PO box that we don't have set up yet.
Please no anthrax. Please no anthrax.
Saying it now.
You're gonna get a bag of dicks or something.
Oh yes! I actually saw that recently. As a matter of fact, I was working on an assignment for class and I just stumbled upon the link to the website.
Yeah, I was looking at
How do vaccines cause autism.com, and it was like, do you know an anti-vaxxer? And you click the link and it's like, bag of dicks, or send a bag of dicks.
You left a very important piece of information out, because the entirety of the website it's just basically a white screen and it says they fucking don't.
Oh yeah, go to that website.
That is the website. I loved it.
It's great.
Yes, our question from the audience today is coming from the one, the only, the Quinster. And
where did we get this question?
This one was in the Discord.
Yeah,
it was in our Discord.
Discord. But he asked, "What makes a video game good?" Who wants to kick that off?
Squiggs, let's go.
Oh boy, I don't know. I think it's mostly subjective because everyone has different tastes.
Okay, that's an easy way out. Yeah,
but there are. I think there are some objective.
I think that was going to be implied.
Oh my god!
By your answers.
Well, I'm sorry, you didn't let me finish, because there are some objective points. I think, like graphics.
That's subjective.
No, it's whether they matter or not is subjective, I believe. But I don't think you can argue whether graphics are good or not comparable to other games.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. So now we got into something else. But legitimately, what isn't subjective about graphics though?
The crispness. I don't like.
Okay.
Oh my god! Someone else go. Like
a game. Okay,
I'm just trying to understand. Legitimately,
we're getting into this. A game like The Witcher 3 has arguably pretty good graphics. I would say so myself. A game like Minecraft is the one that comes to mind.
You wanted to say Overwatch, but
I could have said Overwatch. Well, yeah, Overwatch. Very different graphic style, but still, it suits the game itself very well. The Witcher does the same thing. Minecraft, again, a very completely different graphic style, but it also suits the game very well. You can't put all these levels of graphics on the same graphics. That can't be a category. It's more how graphics relates to the game, how it enhances your gaming experience.
Well, it's like Borderlands. Yeah. Games with very particular art styles. No, but right. I was just curious on what you were saying about what's not subjective about it. I'm not trying to grill you, just legitimately. I was wondering what you meant by it.
Yeah, there are different styles, obviously. I love the cell shading of Borderlands, and in fact, Borderlands was at one point thinking of going with a more realistic.
Oh yeah, they were right.
More realistic graphics, and I think that would have been horrible. But you can't too greatly compare graphics between The Witcher 3 or Borderlands because of the different styles, but games that are pretty similar, like maybe The Witcher and Skyrim, you could probably say is better than the other.
Oh, okay, I can see that. I can see what you're saying now.
Objectively
is. So now, given that we barely answered this question, what would you? How would you? To you, do graphics matter?
Kind of, but I think the biggest thing that comes out of a game is how much you enjoy it, gameplay or story wise. I don't think playability comes too much into it, because I know some great games I didn't replay or play over again.
So replayability.
Yeah, I don't think that comes too much into it, but it's just how much of an impact it leaves on you.
Good. Brian?
Okay.
What makes a game good? Or game graphics? Well, do they matter?
In my experience, a game with a fully developed story, cast of characters, and, just like the general pathos of the game, the emotional response that you feel. I feel like those are like the key characteristics when it comes to me, that if the game does not excel in those things, if it doesn't make you feel for the characters that they have developed immensely in a universe that they have, again, developed rigorously. I didn't want to say immensely again. If it doesn't check all three of those boxes, it's weaker, in my opinion.
It's funny that you say that, because you have, being a big fan of Overwatch, you have a very special case that all three of those things are checked off.
Oh yeah. I think Overwatch does that extremely well.
That couldn't be said for Halo, Call of Duty. I mean, if you exclude the fact that they have
single player,
if you just took it for multiplayer only, like Overwatch is a game that does not have a story mode, but it has a very rich.
That's what makes Overwatch unique and makes it excel, in my opinion. It doesn't require a campaign, a story mode, in order for you to understand that, holy shit, these characters, they have lives that are interconnected with each other in a much greater universe, and there's a scope. And then if you delve a little bit deeper, which, I obviously have, into the lore, the skits, the comics, that sort of shit, you can see these characters develop like a huge universe.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I love that sort of thing.
So
how they did
Borderlands, I got into that just a little bit because I didn't. We tried playing that because it was. We tried it. We gave it a good old try. I never finished it, but I could totally see myself getting it. Yeah, Borderlands 2. Getting into that, and like, I could see that universe being fully developed as you proceed through the
Borderlands campaign. I would say a pretty special game.
Yeah,
I think is what I would use to describe it.
I think Brian brings up something pretty interesting. So a lot of the stuff in Overwatch, that all comes from, like, the things that you have checked off all come from things outside the game, right?
For the most
part,
yeah.
Does, like, they add to the game and your experience with it, but does that make the game itself better? Like, just standalone the game?
That's tough, because that's one of those questions that... Do what?
No, that's a very good point, because, like, the playability of the characters and the sort of the combat system, those don't rely much on
I would kind of say
characters and universe that you've developed.
I think they're inadvertently correlated, but they are not. They don't have any kind of value from the player playing them.
I will counter with this. I play certain characters because
you like them.
I relate to them.
Yeah.
And as they've been developed. I relate
That's
to,
what I meant. It's kind of an inadvertent correlation with the game. Right.
But it's still something that, like, I feel like a Reinhardt main because that's just how I live my life, sort of thing, but I can totally see, like, I play shooters, so I'm gonna pick the point and click shooter guy.
Yeah. And
I'm gonna shoot the gun and kill the enemy.
Yeah.
Like, I could see it. I could totally see it go either way.
Yeah. But for me, I don't think graphics matter in a game. Well, in most cases, like, typically I don't look at a game and say, "Hey, I don't like these graphics. I'm not gonna play it," or "I can't play it because it's bad graphics." It's more so, I hate when games claim things that, like, "Oh, we have these great graphics," and you get them and they're shit. That's a problem that I have. But what makes a game good? I'm kind of the same way. I don't really think replayability has never been the thing that was really big for me, even though obviously it's a plus.
The game. Sorry,
no, you're good.
Totally interrupt you, but, like, the game that I think of when I think of replayability not being an issue is Rise: Son of Rome, which you turned me on to, Dustin. Like, you play that game once and you've done pretty much everything.
Yeah. Well,
the story in that game is pretty good. It's pretty compelling. You sort of feel for the character as you proceed and go along, but you don't need to play it a second time, and it's still a really good game. So just to sort of emphasize that point,
I'm really trying to think about what I kind of pick out, and honestly, it's just games that are fun.
Yeah,
what makes it being fun.
I know the number one factor for me is always gameplay. Like, story is always a plus. I grew up with a funny situation where I couldn't really have the volume on the TV, so if the game didn't have subtitles, I almost had no story. Mm-hmm. So it was all gameplay that
I'm sure
that I got drilled into.
Yeah, I'm sure there's all games that we have that are just bad, but we enjoy playing them. You know, I couldn't think of any off the top of my head, but
I can name a game that really checks all of my boxes. Portal.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, I was like, fun, but you know, it's not a good game. I PUBG. I thought it was what you were gonna say.
Oh, we could get into that in like a hot second.
Portal.
Portal. Compelling story in a limited cast of characters.
It's like 3.
With fun gameplay. If you like puzzles, you know, and I certainly like puzzles, and decent graphics for when it was developed at the very least. That Portal checks a lot of boxes for me. Portal and Portal 2.
I think for me, just games in general, I like games that it's going to sound kind of stupid, but I like games that I feel my investment was worth it. As in, I've played this game this long.
That's fair.
I've gotten this much time out of it. Did it warrant the money that I spent on it? You know.
Yeah.
So I guess length is kind of a thing, but that's, you know, obviously there's kind of some things that aren't.
Right. Yeah.
Some games that are short that are really good, but you know, I don't need a story to be long, but it's about how long I can play it, which is kind of different than replayability, I would say. Because I play a lot of Rocket League. It's something that's competitive online, but it's pretty much the same thing every game, but I have fun playing it, you know, and I've gotten well past the amount of money that I've spent on it back in return.
Bought that bitch twice.
in just kind of in satisfaction from playing it.
Yeah.
Because for me, video games there's like a catharsis with it, you know. It's really cathartic. You just kind of sit there and you can be in your zone, not be bothered, kind of relax and be in your element. But so I wanted to do it. Did somebody?
No, sorry. If you're about to bring up PUBG, I won't bring up PUBG.
No, I wasn't gonna be. I don't
Why
even.
Is PUBG such the best awful game of all time? Or the worst best game of all time?
Man, this is.
All right, but before we go into this, Dustin, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, let's.
No, I was gonna bring up an entirely different topic that wasn't even video game related. But
okay.
I'll say a quick blurb on PUBG, then whatever you guys want to say. My thing with PUBG, as you guys know very, very well, PUBG is a game that has a once again, it's a very special game. It's a game that there are other games before it. They tried the whole battle royale thing. Didn't work out and catch on quite as well. Then PUBG hit. Well, you had H1Z1. H1Z1 was a lot of people played H1Z1. PUBG came out. A shit ton of people played battle royale games now at this point. So you had a lot of people playing H1Z1 battle royale. Then you went from a lot to a shit ton. So they've sold 4 million copies or something crazy like that
in like 12 minutes.
Yeah,
something like that.
So that game is some of the most fun I have ever had playing with friends. Without a doubt, top 5 games I've had fun playing with friends. But as far as polish and everything else goes in that game, like just performance and netcode and literally everything else that makes a good game, like a good complete game, completely absent from PUBG. Completely absent. They literally non-existent. I don't understand it. And that's what bothers me the most about PUBG is they have such a good game and it's so awful. It is so awful. One of the worst games I've ever played. Legitimately.
Okay. So would you say it's your favorite shitty game or your shittiest or like your least favorite best game?
I'd probably say my favorite shitty game.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I think I'd definitely say that my favorite shitty game.
Okay.
One of the things that Dustin brings up constantly while we're playing is its inconsistency. And I agree with that so much.
God.
So many things to shots landing, anything really, like
it's
cars all of a sudden will hit something, do a flip. It's like there was nothing here. Would I hit a pebble?
Yeah.
One of the things I was talking about is whenever I drive, I touch something going like 5 miles an hour in the car, we'll all lose like a quarter of our health. Brian the other day was driving around and he was going like full speed, running into everything, flipping the car. Lost maybe 1 health every single time, if losing anything.
Over the course of the entire time I drove, which was like across the fucking map.
Yeah.
We lost like 5 health.
Yeah, that's exactly. But you can see just how much they don't fucking care about that game. You can literally see it in game. Yeah. You go to Squiggs and I playing duos. We've ran into 14 different buildings that are just kind of they're in each other or they're in the ground.
Yeah.
There's some doors on some of the apartment buildings in Miramar that you can't once you open it. It's so poorly designed. The patio or like the balcony that they have on some of the rooms, you can't get around the door without closing it.
Oh yeah.
They didn't think about the fact that players might want to move freely, and I mean you can't. There's not a button to scooch by in PUBG, so it's just there's a whole bunch of really small things that obviously show that they just don't give a shit about anything other than the sales, and they are choosing not to fix it.
I think that's one of the reasons why we chose to do the PUBG Diaries or the Diaries in PUBG is because we have so much fun in that game, but we got so upset about everything that wasn't just each other and like
our own stupidity.
Yeah. So we're like, we could just be stupid together in this game and not have to worry about the physics of it too much and everything else.
The game has gotten worse with every update. Legitimately. Ever since 1.0.
I could see that.
Ever since 1.0, the game has gotten worse. We are having problems.
1.0, I'd argue that it has gotten better, like in the beta stage, but after release, I can totally
definitely in the beta stage. I can agree that most of the updates were
after
a net positive.
Yeah. After 1.0, third person is just unplayable because of the amount of hackers that have been in it for 2 months now.
Yeah, I see comments of people say, "Oh, I have 1,000 hours played and I've never ran into a hacker."
Oh, first person. In first person, they're just about non-existent. Never. In third person, it's every game.
Yeah, we literally played one day. We had what?
We had 3 or 4 hackers in one game. Like it wasn't even arguable. It was they were snapping to people who were behind walls, behind hills that were 300 meters out, trying to shoot them, and all the bullets were hitting in one spot from full auto M4.
It's really bad, but no, it's definitely gotten worse, and I just don't get it. But anyways, what I was gonna say earlier.
That's at least the reason why we switched to producing.
Yeah,
because all the things that would make a game good were not present in PUBG.
Yeah. So
it'll be interesting.
I tried the transition to what I think you're gonna say, but I have no idea. That probably failed.
Yeah, no, this is a segue. But no, I saw my first play today.
Oh, yes.
First ever play today. I saw a steampunk rendition of Hamlet. So, and that was
tell us about it.
Actually, that was a doozy. It was a doozy. Really cool.
Bring that up without speaking about it.
It was so it was at the Jewish Memorial Museum, is I believe what it's called.
Is that off 90?
No. But here in San Antonio is at the Sheldon Vexler Theater. I want to say shout out to the Sheldon Vexler Theater. They are awesome. I mean, they didn't really do anything for me, but the average age of the audience there legitimately was 55 plus probably. Most of that audience was senior citizens. I don't know why, but they were super accommodating to all of them. And they had walkers and motor, little, motor transportation. What is the
chairs?
What are they? Isn't there a word for those though?
Walkways. Motorized wheelchair.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm looking for. Motorized wheelchair. What? I don't. What's not? But it's not. Never mind. Whatever.
Is it a wheelchair? Is it a chair with wheels?
Yes, but it's like the shit that you get on at Walmart, though. You know those.
Oh.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. I don't know what the word for that is, but
I would
just like motorized scooter.
Yeah, scooter. There you go. That's a good one.
But they're those, but they were moving them out the way and make sure everybody could get seated. So they were super helpful. But anyways, the setup was really cool. Actors were amazing. It was a lot of fun to watch. Worst part about it though was I had 2 68, 75-year-old ladies next to me, and there'd be times But one part, there's something happening in the ending. One of the characters dying at the end. Spoiler alert. It's tragedy. Shakespeare. People die. But someone's dying, and then everybody's kind of quiet, and this lady just goes, "Oh, that's terrible." Just like, oh, okay. And she would do that sporadically throughout the play too. Something would be going on. She's, "Oh my goodness!" And it's just.
I fucking love old people.
Lady. I mean, I get that you probably can't hear how loud you're talking, but
sorry.
You're really loud. You're not whispering. But no, overall, it was a really great experience. First play that I ever gone to. It was the first play that my mom had been to as well, and maybe my dad. I'm not sure. Oh no, they had seen Lion King and stuff like that. But it was the kind of, I think in that setting, it was really. Because the place was really small. Honestly, it was about the size of our theater room in high school. It was really. Yeah, it wasn't a very big place. One entrance. There was 3 sections of seating. You had kind of the entrance at an angle, and then kind of middle, far back, and then by the wall. But it's a really intimate setting.
Yeah, I'm looking. I looked this up. Vexler.org/Hamlet. If you're interested. And that's a pretty big cast. So the fact that it was such a small theater, that's kind of surprising.
It was really, especially in some of there were certain scenes that they had 8, 9, 10 people out there trying to maneuver around each other, and it was really impressive to see them work around it. And it was
I'd like to go see that.
What was it? What were you saying?
Sorry, I'd like to go see that from just the technical aspect.
It was really good. I would recommend it to anybody in the area, honestly. But it was it was really great to see them kind of just doing their thing, honestly. And it was just impressive to me actually seeing the theater production go on for the first time and seeing everybody kind of people memorizing these long-winded soliloquies and all of these different things that they're trying to say in Shakespearean dialogue and remembering everything they need to say. Was really, really impressive, actually, especially because the play is literally one of the longest Shakespeare's works. It's 4,000 lines, so it's crazy. Well, y'all plays anything?
That's probably.
I do have a connection story, kind of, but you want to say, Brian?
That I was just gonna add. That's probably a good play to start with. It's not pure Shakespeare in the fact that it's a rendition of Shakespeare. I know you said it was.
Yeah, it was dialogue was practically the same. So.
Well, then I say that you got your legs quick.
Yeah.
Did you dress up?
Yeah.
You dress nice?
Slacks, button down, bow tie. Yeah. Had to dress nice. Mostly everybody there was dressed fairly nice.
Yeah, that's plays. You dress nice.
And it's funny because that's
appreciation for the
that's
cast.
a thing that they didn't do that back in Shakespearean days. I'd say it's kind of a modern thing. People dressing up to go to theater. It's not something that people used to do.
Because it's a thing that people with culture do.
Yeah, it seems more uppity event going on now. But
uppity.
You had said, it's like a. You typically when you think plays, I think when I think play, I immediately think Broadway. So I think ladies coming in with fur coats, dudes in tuxedos, sipping on drinking vodka on the rocks, whiskey
monocles.
On the rocks. Yeah,
Champagne,
exactly.
dude.
That's exactly what I think of.
Champagne.
But Brian, you were saying that, kind of, it was funny because this is how this relates. Lion King was your first play.
Yeah.
Because
I honestly, you totally just fucking passed up Squiggs. Squiggs wanted to say stuff minutes ago.
No, I'm good. I just say like I have a play story also.
Go,
but
Squiggs, go. We could get to my Lion King.
The only reason I didn't say that because I thought that he was changing he said a different story, but never mind. My bad.
Oh
no.
Fuck off.
My bad.
Right?
My bad.
So a couple of summers ago, I went to visit my grandpa and grandpa who live in Florida. So I went there with my sister to see him for a couple of days. And one of the nights, they're like, "Hey, let's go see a play. Like, you're in town. Let's go like have something that we could like experience and enjoy together that we could remember." So we go see the play. It's really nice theater. Like, I'm in like nice clothes, not like suit and tie or anything, and I feel underdressed and everything. Mm-hmm. So sit down, and I've never heard of the play before. Never heard anything about it. I was like, I'll see this. I'll experience this. Do either of you know what Avenue Q is?
I can't say that I do.
Okay. That's the name of the play. And so, remember, I went to go see this with my sister, my grandpa, and my grandma. So we go and we start watching. It looks it's
shades and
no. Oh, let me get to it. Let me get to it.
Can I read a select sentence from the Wikipedia article?
Go ahead.
Avenue Q is an autobiographical and biographical coming-of-age parable addressing and satirizing the issues and anxieties associated with entering adulthood. This sounds like the greatest play to see.
Is it a little boy too? Like
no, it gets better. It's all puppets. It's all puppets and people. Yeah. So we go see this,
so you have the Muppets.
Yeah, it's one of them is one of them. I want to. So one of the puppets is coming of age story, like the adulthood. One of them is gay, and he's coming out to everyone. And so everyone is, some of them are accepting, some aren't. Some are realizing that they should be accepting. And one of the songs, so from I believe one of the ones that were very accepting, is telling him that he should go out and have gay sex. And this is a whole song. Now,
okay,
that's one of the songs. Another song is during the puppets, two different puppets. This is completely different. Having during sex, also singing. There's that. And I brought it up just to like remind myself of it. There's also another song called Everybody's a Little Racist.
Yep. We need the link. We need to have a link up. We need to post fucking links in these. This is great.
Everybody's a little racist.
Everybody's a little racist.
Hamlet's rated PG-13.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there watching this play with my sister, who's a little bit older than me, my grandpa and grandma. Mm-hmm.
And you're just how old were you?
16. So I was in that really awkward stage.
Okay, so you're literally just living the play.
Yep.
It was heavy relatable to you.
Oh God.
And no,
fucking weird.
So
is that your only theatrical experience?
I mean, I've gone to the play multiple times at my high school, but like
something I never
proper theater. I think that's the best example of one. Yeah, that I've gone to.
That is my one regret from high school. Is not doing theater.
Not attending or not participating?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I mean, theater kids were theater kids.
Yeah.
But
trust.
How are the theater kids at your high school? If you were to describe the theater kids from your high school.
Well, I'm dating one, so.
Okay.
So how would you describe the theater kids at your high school?
So hopefully you have some kind words to say about theater kids, because I don't.
Tread lightly.
Yeah. No, but generally, like the group of theater kids though in your high school.
A wide variety of people, like many extroverts, a lot of people who kept to themselves, who were pretty much like the backstage people, but generally all nice. I don't know.
See, ours were.
I would say the same.
It's difficult because some of them at times like they were all good people.
Yeah.
No one was rude or anything, but there were times kind of snobby, I guess, is the way to put it.
I could understand that. Yeah.
Whoops. That's more so what it was.
Punch your fucking microphone, why don't you?
Wow, he got real mad about the snobbiness. Jeez.
Theater kids, Jesus. Like this is how they make me feel.
Now, something that I saw, I get the snobbiness because a lot of them would have, it would be a little bit tense with like who's gonna get a role or something. They would be snobby to each other, but like if they had beef, they would passively aggressively give it off. And you knew what was going on, but they never addressed it, I felt.
Yep.
That's about it.
Our thing was, our high school was so small, myself and Brian, for those of you who don't know, talked about it last time, went to the same high school. But our school was so small that it was, we didn't really have cliques. But there was the theater clique.
There was... Was there?
Yeah,
I felt that there was
lunch together.
The sports people clique.
To give everyone a little example,
that was a clique.
How many people were in your graduating class?
26.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to let everyone know how small exactly.
Even then, it's not like most of the people that I knew, I wouldn't even say it was a sporting clique. It was a lot of the kids were friends before they were even on teams together. And like even then, with some of the people that I didn't eat lunch with my teammates every day. I ate lunch with other people that did sports, but it just those people were my friends, kind of, not because of sports, you know. But I mean, I can kind of see it though, because it definitely does seem like all of the kids were all the sports kids hang out, but.
You had a particular set of you had a particular friend group that you were a part of, but you were also a part of multiple friend groups. Yeah. That's the best way I could think of describing it. There were cliques, but a lot of people were members of multiple cliques.
I guess I shouldn't there definitely was cliques. I shouldn't say that. I guess it was more so we didn't have the stereotypes. We didn't have, like, there wasn't too many of the jocks, you know, the acted stereotypical, like the kids that sports bullies and shit. And, you know, obviously some of the other cliques fit stereotypes, but, you know, for the most part, we didn't have like really picture perfect depictions of people that you think in high school that do sports, you know, but things like that. Our high school experience was very different than what most people experience.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if it was for you guys, but for the theater kids at my high school, it seemed like, you can say whatever you want, but they seemed a lot more comfortable being themselves than many other high schoolers.
I think that's generally with people in theater, honestly, for me, is what I think.
I could see that, actually, yeah. They're more comfortable expressing themselves. Which, hey, you kind of need that. If you're about to express a character, you should be able to express yourself.
Yeah. Because I think that's one thing. Like, I legitimately, out of everything that I did in high school, did some dumb shit. But I regret
more
not
stories.
Doing theater. I regret not doing theater. It's just one of those things that I've, you know, I guess part of it too, being a part of the clique would have been kind of cool. Like, getting to know some of those people. Yeah. Because, like I said, they're not bad people.
They're good people.
Aren't. They're good people, but some of them, it'd be nice to have known them a little bit better. And it's just I think it reminded me a lot of the basketball team. It's just definitely you know, you have it's your family away from family. You have people that you're really close to because you're constantly doing lines and reciting the play and whatever you're doing. So,
hey, you know what would be really funny is if you hit the streaming button again. Let me check.
I'm pretty sure I didn't.
Hopefully.
It says start streaming, but if I did...
No, you did not. It does not look like it.
We're just going to leave it, and I'm not going to blow Twitch. I don't want to know.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
We didn't talk about that last time. They did that the first podcast.
Yeah, well, the like prep podcast,
it never happened.
I want to talk about my theater experience.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lion King, go.
I feel
Ryan was a part of theater. So.
Yes. So,
you were?
But...
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Lion King and theater, but we got all sidetracked. Anyways.
Yeah, it's fine.
Your theater experiences?
Fine. Everything's a disaster. It's fine. No, so...
It's all wrong.
My first experience with theater was actually through band. So, our band instructor in high school didn't require us, offered every year a field trip to the Majestic Theater in San Antonio, it's quite possibly the biggest theater in San Antonio and the most well done theater I've ever been to, at least.
Was that before
Dustin,
the theater teacher or the band teacher switch?
Yes, absolutely.
Or it stuck with when they changed.
Wait,
band teachers.
No, I had the same band teacher for all 5 years.
I thought they switched, but never mind. Anyways,
I think the choir teacher switched to the band teacher. The band, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, whatever. Anyways,
but. We would always go to the Majestic Theater in San Antonio, and every time I went, it was a great experience. The first play I saw was Lion King there, and then I believe I saw Wicked.
Oh, they did that. That was a theater thing, wasn't it? Like, the theater teacher always sent that invite out, didn't he? Just everybody in theater classes?
I think when the band teacher did that, the theater teacher caught on and was like, let's also do that. Or maybe it was always just a performing arts thing. Yeah. Like, everybody in the performing arts did that. At any rate, So, what did you want to know about Lion King specifically?
well, I was just going to tell her because for the people that don't know that Lion King is a movie/play that mimics Hamlet very closely.
Right.
And it's just funny that your first experience and my first experience with theater very, very related, you know?
Actually, I think my first experience with theatrical performance was Disney's Beauty and the Beast on ice.
Really? I would love to go to one of those. It'd be majestic as shit.
On ice is pretty dope. Just because it's more than just a performance.
What was it that you missed the other week, Squiggs?
I didn't. Fuck. So
I mean, you don't have to.
Dustin knows about this.
Sorry.
What? So for Christmas, my girlfriend's birthday, our anniversary, and Christmas are all within 5 days. So
you just get.
I get them
days,
mixed.
Huh?
Yeah. And I got her tickets to Disney on Ice. I believe it was just Disney on Ice. I don't know what specifically.
Yeah.
We've both been so busy with school, work, me with tennis. We both forgot, and she reminded me a week after it.
That sucks, dude.
Nice.
So
that sucks.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
And it bothers me because there was a question that I was going to ask you guys. And then I totally forgot what the question was, and I had it earlier.
I could keep talking about theater.
No, I did want to hear more about what you had to say with your experience with the Majestic Theater. The Majestic Theater is.
What's that?
Don't worry about it.
The Majestic Theater is just that. It's pretty damn majestic.
It's majestic.
Yeah.
So in Wicked,
rightfully named.
In Wicked, there's a scene or an event that happens. It's been so long since I've seen it, but the Majestic Theater has a dragon. Just like
I don't remember.
It looks like like a taxidermy dragon just jutting out above the theater. So you've got the stage right here, and then you've got the curtains that go up, and then like the top of the stage where there's all the rigging and shit hides behind this, and then above that there's the dragon. There's a dragon head that just is coming out. I don't remember
that, but it's been so long since I've been there. So
yeah, mouth open, just terrifying looking dragon. This shit breathes fire during Wicked.
Really?
There's a pyrotechnic that goes off, and it
insane.
breathes fire during the play.
That is insane.
I think it's like right after or right before intermission. But nevertheless, the Majestic Theater is quite possibly the best theatrical experience I've ever had. And I want to say that it drove me to expand my interest in doing drama club in high school. Again, great people. That was fun. Really, honestly, I started doing it just to spend more time with my best friend.
Yeah. Great guy as well.
Yeah. So he decided that like he's into sound design, so he did sound for the theater club, and I was like, hey, let me help with that. I basically just started showing up. I didn't really do anything. I just started showing up, and then the teacher was like, hey, you want a job? So I think I had a small role in that play, and then I did the gun sounds. I made gun sounds.
Yeah. Our theater teacher was really awesome, though.
He was the coolest teacher.
Yeah, he literally, if I'm not, I don't know if this was a rumor, but I think this was true because he looks like a guy that would do this. Didn't he audition for 300?
Oh, I have no idea.
I had heard that he did that. It gives you kind
Possibly.
of a depiction of
a depiction of this man.
Yeah. He tried out for a role on 300 or something like that, but he's an awesome guy. Theater's just, it's crazy to see what people can do and how many lines they can remember.
Honestly, I think it's great from a technical aspect because that was my role. I did lights later on, but we also did one act play, and I mentioned this briefly to you, Dustin. I don't know if you were there, Squiggs.
That was a UIL thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, University Interscholastic League, UIL.
Theater competition.
It was the UIL theater competition, and it was basically you had to condense whatever play you wanted to do into a 30-minute thing. It had to take 30 minutes. and I think we did a curate Shakespeare's As You Like It.
I remember y'all doing that, but I think we read that. I just honestly don't remember it.
We probably read Shakespeare's As You Like It, but a curate's Shakespeare's As You Like It. That's funny. It was a comedy, and then just turning Shakespeare into a 30-minute play. And it was so technically demanding from the cast, the actors. Like, it was so good. Yeah,
trying to scrunch it all down and make it...
And then, and get send the transitions right, and send the same message. It was nuts.
Now, because I brought up part of what I regretted in high school. How about you guys? Any big high school regrets? I didn't even go to my senior prom or homecoming. I really don't give a shit. I don't think I'll ever care that I didn't go. But theater probably is the main thing there that I regretted the most. Besides some questionable girlfriend decisions, but...
Yeah. I mean, I could probably also share that similar sentiment, at least. I really wish I got more social interaction, especially with the females in high school. I'm better, I'd like to say. It's not like I can't hold a conversation with a woman, but I'd like to have gotten more experience.
Yeah. You know what's really funny to me, though? The roles have kind of flipped from the way I was in high school to the way you were in high school to the way I'm in college to the way that you are in college now.
Are you just a fucking closet nerd?
I always was. I don't know how many people actually knew that about me.
I am the one with the social life now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I socialized with more people in high school, no doubt. No doubt. But now you've significantly, by leaps and bounds, have more of a social life than I could ever even dream of in college.
Huh. And we all have more social life than Squiggs.
Pretty much. I just about everybody that I talk to right now is present.
Wow.
That is about it.
Present and accounted for.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
High school regrets?
Probably the biggest one is kind of related to Brian's. I came from a middle school that was a graduating class of about 50, and we all went to at least 4 different high schools. So I knew about 2 people when I went down. Yeah. To my high school, and we were a class of 600 or more. Yeah, so I knew no one. So the first 2.5 years, I talked to no one. There was one kid that I kind of started talking to my freshman year, and he ended up being my best friend throughout all of high school, and I still talk to him today. We're in different parts of California, but I still talk to him, and every time I talk to him, over months, it's like we'd never stop talking to each other. Yeah. And I think I would have more people like that, or at least maybe not as well, but just more people that I talk to regularly if I started talking to people earlier on. But I was such an introvert up until the end of my junior year, where I started to talk to people, and I really got a couple of friends senior year. I got a lot more people to talk to me.
That's actually.
I'd also would say that I had a similar experience in that regard. I moved in not knowing anybody, and then I proceeded to make 1 or 2 friends, which I maintained for the most part. And then by the end, I was sort of, chums with everybody.
Our high school was really like that.
Yeah.
Well, not towards the end, right before we graduated. There was a lot of things that we kind of collectively went through that brought everybody closer together,
And I can speak more to that, but go ahead, Dustin. You want to say something?
No, I mean, what Squiggs was saying with just socializing with more people. That's actually something that I do more in college now. I don't have many friends from college, but I strike up random conversations with people. Quite a bit now. If I sit down at a table, I fucking hate sitting at a table and just no one says anything. So as soon as I'm sitting down,
hey, you mind if I sit here? And
not even that.
You start.
I don't give a shit, but no. But it's like when you get to a 4-seated table, or a table that has 4 seats or something like that, you have a guy that's sitting there, and then so you don't want to be the 4th person at a table, but I'll be the 2nd person at a table, and I'll go up and sitting down instead of just kind of sitting there and ignoring the person that I'm probably going to be sitting with for the next semester or for the entire semester. I'm kind of like, hey, how's it going? What's up? My name's Dustin, kind of thing. But it's always I realized that actually. Yeah, what was it Friday? I think Friday I had a class where I was sitting next to a guy. I've been sitting next to him all semester, so 5-6 weeks in. Have yet to talk to the guy. Never talked to him until we were forced to talk to each other, and then I started just kind of making conversation with him. I was like, damn, I like this. I like it a lot. I like meeting new people. I really enjoy conversation with new people. But what were you going to say, Brian?
I cannot remember.
Yeah, I kind of figured. That's why I didn't want to keep going on. But
what
more to me more to being sociable or talking to new people.
Oh, going through shit together.
There you go.
Yep. Okay.
Close enough.
So the way you said it is by the end of high school, like towards the end of high school at the very least, we had been through enough shit together that we just sort of all came together as better people.
Yeah, pretty much
together.
Our whole class was friends.
Yeah.
We're friends. Whatever.
So
could not say the same.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you had 600 people.
Yeah, but like even in like friend groups, I knew like there were so many people that did not like each other by the end of high school.
Oh well, yeah, there was hatred all around. That's just the standard common thing. But no, what I wanted to say was, in college at least, when I went through a single class, it was one class. It was electronic signals and systems. Something like that.
That class is awful.
That class almost killed me. It almost killed the B-Men class of 2018.
I got to watch my brother suffer through that.
Yeah. That fucking class, everybody hates. Everybody hated. Nobody liked that class. And as a result, we all became the best of friends. Everybody in our major knows everybody's name because of all the shit that we had to go through for that class. That's 2 a.m. nights, 3 weeks in a row. Just
It's funny that you say that, because currently the closest college class I've ever had, we all collectively talk together or talk and converse because we hate the professor so much.
Yeah, it's a mutual hatred. Yeah. That's what brings people together.
Yeah. Have either of you ever seen Band of Brothers?
I have not, but I know
it's an amazing World War II like short series, and the first 2 episodes is about the training of Easy. Well, the whole thing follows Easy Company, the airborne division, and the first 2 is their training for becoming the first airborne division ever, because no one knew what it was. It had never been. And they're all trained by I can't remember his rank, captain, I believe, Captain Sobel, and they all fucking hated him because he was such an asshole. Like, he would come up to them, and like one of them had just like sewn on his rank, and he would go up to the guy and be like, "When did you sew this on? Yesterday? Well, that was long enough to notice these few like little
stitches.
Yeah,
stitch failures.
Like one coming out." He's like, your weekend pass is revoked, and because of you and like some other people who had rust on their bayonet, everyone's weekend pass was revoked, like all together, the whole company's. So it was just like they hated him so much, and it was like it goes on to be this thing of like they're all friends and so close because of the hate towards him.
Yeah, that is legitimately the military, man. Like,
yeah, that's how that works. You learn to hate everybody. You learn to hate your superior officer, or even just your first sergeant or whatever, and everybody else does the same. And
my dad was a TI. He was a training instructor, and literally one of the best parts about living on base. What's up?
I thought it was always technical instructor. Sorry.
Or it might stand for. I'm just trying to make people understand what it is. He's a drill sergeant, basically, I guess, for layman's term. People that don't know about military shit. But one of my favorite things was going to the BX, basically just a Walmart on base kind of thing. It's got a little bit of everything. My dad would not be in uniform, but a whole bunch of airmen that go there, people that are in basic training, and oh my goodness, he would stop any and every airman that was doing something that was even remotely wrong.
Doing some dumb shit?
Yeah, my dad's definitely just by the book, So it's Article 3, Section B, your fucking shoes are untied. What the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of here. He just literally just stopped. There'd be times that we'd be driving on base. He would roll down his window to yell at airmen. That's what he would do. That's what he would do. People, honestly, like, people were scared shitless of my dad. They were terrified. I think I've told you this story before, Brian. When I was doing mixed martial arts for a little bit, and I was when I was boxing at a random gym, right? And we were just I was going through the training, and then one of the guys that I was talking to was I was probably 13 at the time, and there was a lot of the other guys that were there were older, kind of grown men, probably 25 plus at least, and one of the guys kind of helped me out with stuff during training, and one day he goes, "Hey, my dad would drop me off. I'd have to get driven there. My dad would be studying kind of stuff for making rank and whatnot." And one day after the guy was kind of helping me, kind of saw him for about a week, he goes, "Is that guy your dad?" And I was like, yeah. He goes, "Is he in the military?" It's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Sergeant Hedrick, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." Because your dad scares the shit out of me. It's like, what? It's just so weird. But like, it's just funny to hear that from other people. But literally, just knowing how my dad is, it's exactly like what you said, Squiggs. They find reasons to yell at trainees just because it's fun. It's like
that, and pretty much at the end of it, the only person that you want to be next to is the guy that you're next to. So it all works out.
I think maybe they do it on purpose. Legitimately, some of the greatest stories I've ever heard in my life are from my dad, is his stories as a training instructor.
Hey, can I say something?
What's up?
So
you don't have pants on.
If you're watching the actual the video, I just spilled an entire glass of water all over my desk.
Oh man. Oh man.
So
this is the part where you get up.
Yeah, this is the part where I get up for like 2 seconds, grab some paper towels, and fucking unfuck myself.
Yeah.
All right.
Continue talking. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we can hold it down. I can't believe this is the first accident that's ever happened on the podcast.
Yeah, I was honestly terrified he was gonna say I forgot to record audio.
That's what I was waiting for too. That wouldn't be the worst thing that's ever happened.
Also, just for everyone who's watching or listening, Brian can still hear us because of his headphones are still in. He's walking around his apartment right now.
Oh yeah,
so he's listening to everything that's going on. Yeah.
So if you hear random laughs, that's because we said something funny. Likely said something funny, or his computer fucking fried and he's got a
yeah. What we're actually looking at right now is a still picture that's just frozen there now.
Yeah, right. And it's awful. He's right in the fucking middle on this recording.
This is officially a chair podcast. There's
chair
my
podcast.
chair.
See, I'm looking at some of the topics that we have over here, right? And there's one that stands out to me because I didn't write it there. I have no idea who put it there. The narcissism of people thinking the world will end in their lifetime.
I sure as hell didn't put that there.
Yeah. Oh, that was me. I want. Well, see, that's to go along with all the other topics that we have here, but like, however old you think the Earth is, how long we are on it.
4.6 billion years or some shit like that, right?
Some people think much much less. We're not going into this.
No.
What I want to talk about is like people live relatively very very small lives, but no matter who it is, everyone always thinks that the world is going to end during their lifetime, and it's very narcissistic.
Do you think?
But it's everyone, huh?
Do you think that it will? I've never, not once in my life, thought the world would end in my lifetime.
Yeah, but there's like the 2012 thing where everyone thought the world was going to end because of the Mayan calendar. Yeah. There are just so many instances.
I think 3 different deadlines. I want to say something.
Exactly. Like everyone thinks, oh, the world's going to end because I'm alive. It's not specifically that, but the world is going to end while I'm alive.
You know what I did? Generally, what it is when the world was supposed to end on 2012, whatever date it was. Mm-hmm. I can tell you where I was. I was online playing Black Ops Zombies with some friends, just in case the world ended. We literally played. We stayed up late on a school night just to play, just in case the world ended. Yeah,
but you never hear stuff where it's like, well, a meteor is going to strike 120 years from now or something, whatever. Like I'm predicting it. It's like no, because no one's going to care. No one's going to care. No one's going to do anything to try and stop it because it's.
Honestly, I think by the time that the world will end, or Earth, I don't think we'll be here. I think we will have fucked it up or just completely drained it by that point that we need.
That's what I mean. With. That's what I mean.
Humanity, you mean?
Yeah. So let's take the point where it's 4.8 billion years old. In that lifetime,
many years. I don't.
Yeah.
Exact thing. For some asshole out there.
It's like if how long the Earth has been alive was the equivalent of a human life. Humans would be alive on the Earth or on that human for a blink, and then that's it. And then to think that your life, the less than 100 years that you're here, out of that blink, the world is going to end is infinitesimally small.
Yeah.
That's like... But,
I mean, that's kind of how I feel about people believing that we're the only life on the planet in the universe.
See, this is why I wrote that down, because of the other topics that we have.
I legitimately think that it is an ignorant thing to say that you don't believe in. If you can say affirmatively that there is no other life in the universe, I think that's pretty ignorant. You know,
so you mean intelligent life? There's like plant. There's a possibility plants live on other planets that aren't intelligent.
Yeah,
but there's intelligent life that like
I personally, I believe that it's just statistically it's highly unlikely that there isn't other, or that there. It's highly unlikely that there. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying it right the first time. It's highly unlikely that there isn't intelligent life somewhere. You know, like there more than likely has to be some intelligent life somewhere else in the universe.
It's very highly unlikely that there is no life elsewhere.
Yes, it just sounds weird to say.
This is where I think people are wrong, I guess, in this argument. So I believe other intelligent life exists, or more accurately, existed or will exist. People always get this like, intelligent life is going to exist somewhere else in the universe. I think it's more like intelligent life existed before us or after us, and going along with like the narcissistic point of intelligent life is going to exist at the same time we are somewhere else in the universe. I think is less likely than it not existing.
Like I said, there's definitely ways that you could sway, but if you just definitely just agree that or if you just think that there is no other life or it won't exist, it's just ignorant, honestly. But it goes along with the thing. I don't know what it is about humans just wanting to be special. You know, they just want to be. People are almost. A lot of people are scared of it. Is one thing, but people just. They want to be the only intelligent life. They want to believe that. And I don't really understand what kind of the value there is in that. But one thing I did want to bring up though is I don't understand why there are so many people in the world that just very, very just vehemently just don't believe science.
Oh, fuck me.
Like they don't fucking believe science. There's literally hardcore evidence to support things, and they just refuse to believe it.
Dustin, we're pushing an hour. Do you really want me to get into this?
We have like 10 minutes left. We were recording about 10 minutes before.
Yeah, that was like two or three. Trust. Okay,
it's fine.
We could go over a little over an hour. Like
we'll be fine.
The reason I don't trust science.
Well, there's a difference between not trusting and not believing in things that are scientifically proven.
Well, even then, you could say that something is scientifically proven, but if it's in a journal, like, okay, so scientifically proven, I'm going to define that term as published in a peer-reviewed scientific journal.
Yes. Okay.
Would y'all agree?
Okay.
So, if a point of research discussion is published in a scientific journal, a peer-reviewed scientific journal, then it is science. But you can pay to publish. You can just slide $1,000 underneath the table and get your paper that could be bullshit, could be not even based on anything real, published in a scientific journal. That happens. It happens a lot, in fact.
It's like with people using statistics.
Statistics is different. You can fudge statistics any day of the week, and it's still one, valid, two, makes sense, but the key component is it's not relevant.
Yeah, sure.
It's like you could say there was a 50% increase in number of diddly bobs per fuckery. So, that damn 50% increase. But is a 50% increase, is that really significant?
Yeah, it depends on the context that you're applying the
exactly. It could just be completely irrelevant.
Well,
but it's still valid and true. What
you were saying with science, though, I agree with that. But I'm talking about things in particular, the anti-vaxxer thing you brought up earlier. There are people that legitimately believe that vaccines are causing all of these illnesses, and they're not getting kids vaccinated. And
the fact of the matter is, it's scientifically proven that vaccines cause autism. There's a paper out there. In a peer-reviewed journal.
That's the problem, though, is because people.
No, it's not that they don't believe science. It's that they do believe science, but they believe the wrong science.
Well, true. This is a special case. This is a special case because it's like what Squiggs was saying earlier. There's legitimately people that believe that the world is not billions of years old. Mm-hmm. There's legitimately people that believe that.
Yes.
And there's people that fucking legitimately believe that the Earth is flat.
I think I know some of those people.
And I don't think those are things that they have some kind of conflicting. Well, no, actually they might, but they might use those as a reference. But I think people cherry pick references, and it's awful. I don't get it.
Yeah. They say this point of view is similar to my own, so I'm going to put this in my echo chamber and play it back to myself.
Yeah. What do you think would happen? And I said, no, this is going to get into a piece of a conversation, but I'll try and keep it short. What do you think would happen if we either found out that God existed or didn't exist, or if we found out that just other life existed or didn't exist? Like, how do you think people would really react to that? Well, more so kind of like a higher power, I guess, would be more.
It would depend on the proof, but if it was like definite proof that
if suddenly it clicked and every TV screen everywhere was
obviously a crazy hypothetical situation, but
there's going to be skeptic groups. Some people will panic.
There will be overwhelming panic.
Yeah,
because it doesn't take that many people to start a riot.
Well, my thing is though, I don't really want to use religion for this, I guess, but it's like there could be a UFO to come just park in front of my fucking house. I could let a little green guy just walk in here, come on the podcast, legitimately shake his tentacle, whatever fuck he has, and then he could go out. He could go fucking knock on my neighbors' houses, doors, and shit, wake people up, and have all of these accounts of people actually seeing this person exist, this thing exist, have video evidence, and people would still be, it's fake.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Next week's guest on the podcast, little green tentacle alien man.
Yeah, there you go. But it's like,
stay tuned.
It could land. You could have a UFO land in Times Square.
Yeah.
And people still would be. It's fake.
That's how it is, dude.
I think a part of that is that there's so much skepticism and how advanced people are now that visual effects could be faked. Practical effects could be faked. It could have just been a stunt by someone. There are all these ways to just justify it towards no, it's not going to happen.
Even could die and then do an autopsy. They'd still be fucking.
I heard a shower thought on Reddit. It was, we will eventually reach a point where photographic, videological, and auditory evidence will not be admissible in court because it will be so easy to fake. We will have programs that run scripts on, this is your body's 3D model, here's it rendered, fuck, that's you. That's you now. That's you committing this murder now. So we will eventually reach that point where that is a problem.
So I kind of agree with you, but I also believe that there will be the other side of technology that will keep up with that can trace it. So all of the then what would you need to build that thing? would you have a traceable number or thing on that body that would be related back to the thing that made it, who would lead you to someone who bought it and used it?
Right.
So now I have a question that I want to ask, but we're kind of out of time.
We could save that for the next one.
Yeah.
Just write it down on the list.
Yeah, I think next podcast we'll likely end up talking about technology. But yeah, we're running up on an hour, probably over an hour, definitely over an hour now.
Comments, questions, topics, if anyone has any of them, add us on Twitter, in the comments, Discord. Yeah, literally just add us on anything that you can find us on.
Check out the most recent episode of PUBG Diaries as well.
Yes. That came out this weekend, didn't it?
Yesterday.
The long drop.
Yesterday.
Well, for us yesterday, 2 days ago, if you're watching this on Monday.
No, there you go. But still working on that. We'll give you, like I said last time, more details on websites and other things as they come. But for now, stick with the podcast, a weekly thing every Monday. So stay tuned for that. But that's about it for the second LinO podcast. Like Squiggs was saying, any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the description wherever, and we will sift through those, probably paste them in here and just kind of randomly pick them out. But yeah, that is it for today, everyone. I have been Dustin.
I've been Brian this entire time, even when I went away.
Every time.
And I think I'm Squiggs.
I think I'm Squiggs. Every time I say that, every time I say I've been Dustin, Brian's like, I've been Brian. It takes it.
Because it's just like, I've been Dustin. What do I say then? Oh shit! Hi.
How do I respond? I don't understand.
But that is it, everyone. Hopefully, everyone has a wonderful day, evening, night. Always say this thing. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Until next time on the LinO Podcast. Goodbye, everybody.